Hello, my name is Paul Bosch, Principal of Monsignor McCoy High School, and myself and Mr. Brzezinski, Vice Principal of Monsignor McCoy High School, are going to present to you some information regarding high school information at McCoy, as well as course request and course selection information.
Welcome everyone. As you can see, we've got our registration guide posted on the video link here. I'm going to encourage you to turn to page 8 to start off our discussion. And while I'm showing you this page here, I'm going to talk a little bit about high school in general as you're looking at that page. So one thing you'll notice about high school, especially for the grade 10s coming up from grade 9, is we run semesters. And with semesters, we take our courses basically 2 of our core classes usually with some options for the first half of the year from September all the way till January. And then in January, we write our final exams. Now we start all new classes in February usually for semester 2, and then take those second set of cores and some more option classes leading us to final exams in June. So that's kind of how it works. And I know in middle school, courses are taken all year long. You have the same classes, usually the same teachers and the same students within those classes. But in high school, it's nice because you do get a little bit of a variety of teachers, students, and those types of options to have a little more variety in your normal day. One thing you'll notice in high school is the numbering system is also a little bit different. So for classes in grade 9, they usually have the number 9 that follows them, like Math 9, Social 9, Science 9, those types of numbering systems for those courses. In high school, the numbering system is a little bit different. When you get to grade 10, the courses typically have a number 10 or a number 1 or something with a number 1 that starts following that course that you're going to choose, whether it's Math 10, Foods 1, Cosmetology 1, Religion 15. As you move through to grade 11, the course numbers change to 20s or 2s. So you might have Math 20, Chemistry 20, Religion 25, Foods 2, 3, something like that. And then as you move to grade 12, the numbering systems use 30 levels. So like a Religion 35, Chemistry 30, Foods 3, Cosmetology 3. And the numbering system is something that you want to pay attention to as we go through the rest of this discussion here in terms of diploma requirements and credits and those types of things. So the other thing I want to mention is credits are very important in high school. There are no credits earned in middle school, but as you get to high school, and for grade 11 and 12 students, they know this already, but when you're in grade 10, you start earning credits. With a class that you typically take every day in one semester, it's a 5-credit class. If you have a class that's taken every second day in one semester, it is a 3-credit class. We do have some 1-credit classes or 1-credit modules that you can take, like HCS 3000, but typically you have a 3-credit, 5-credit classes, and what we do is we tabulate all these credits, and then we try to get to the end goal, which you can see on page 8 in the registration guide that I have posted here. So if you see at the top of the page, we're looking for all of our students to achieve a minimum of 100 credits, and that's the Alberta diploma requirement. Okay, so 100 credits is, again, what the Alberta Ed wants all students to get for their high school diploma. And you can see on the table here, we've got the first level, which is in English 30. Now there's different streams as you go through high school. We have -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5 streaming in high school. Now for the grade 11 and 12 students, they know this already, but for the grade 9s coming into grade 10, I want to explain that a little bit as we go through this table. -1, like if you look at an English 10-1 course, the -1 refers to the highest academic stream, so it would have the most rigor of all the streams that we would offer. And -2 would be a little bit less rigor. And for -2 English and Social, that still will be qualify you for your Alberta High School Diploma. As you can see on this list here, we have English 30-1 or 30-2 will get you the first step in getting your high school diploma. Now -3, -4, and -5 are other options within our building, and depending on the course that you're talking about, whether it's Math 20-3 or 20-4, typically for the most part, those are levels that students who maybe struggle in a little bit of academic rigor might end up taking a -3 or -4, and some of our students do take -5. They have high needs students that would definitely take a -5 type program. We have a few students that do that here in our building. So let's look back to the table for a quick second here. You see English 30-1 or 30-2. You need to acquire one of those to get your high school diploma. Social studies, same thing, 30-1 or 30-2. In math and science, it's a little different. You only need a 20 level math or a 20 level science to get your high school diploma. It could be math 20-1, 20-2, or 20-3. For science, you can get a science 20, a science 24, a bio 20, a chem 20, or a physics 20. Now, when you enter grade 10, you typically take science 10, which is a generalized science course. It teaches you a little bit about bio, chem, and physics. And as you finish that course with a passing mark, then in grade 11, you choose one, two, or all three sciences as you move to grade 11, which would be physics 20, chem 20, or bio 20. Now again, you only need one 20 level science, but a lot of students in our building will take a 30 level science or more, and definitely a 30 level math or 31 as well when they get to grade 12, depending on what they need for their high school or for their post-secondary program that they're interested in taking. Next on the table, you'll see that you need a Phys Ed 10, at least a minimum of 3 credits, but we do offer a 5 credit with fitness and performance. Also, you need COM, which is Career and Life Management. That's a 3 credit course that typically our grade 10 students take in the first semester of grade 10. The last two parts of the table here, you'll see you need 10 credits in any combination of CTS, fine arts, and CTS are option courses like foods, mechanics, those types of options. Fine arts again, second languages like French. You could also take Phys Ed 20 and 30 in grade 11 and 12 and earn 5 credits from each of those. And then also our registered apprenticeship program. So if you're interested in a trade of some kind, becoming a welder, a plumber, mechanic, chef, those types of things, we can definitely point you in the right direction to get involved in our registered apprenticeship program. And the last part of the table here is you need 10 credits in any 30 level course, and those could be like your bio 30, your chem 30, potentially even other 30 level courses in CTS that could qualify you for those 10 credits. Now typically at McCoy we have students that get way more than 100 credits, somewhere in the neighborhood of 120, 130, potentially even 140 when you add up all the sciences and work experience and fine arts credits that they earn. So it's definitely easily accessible, but definitely a benchmark that we want to look at and make sure that our counselors are on top of it too. And we do have a lot of conversations between our students and our counselors to make sure that they are supported on their journey through McCoy. Now for the next part, I'm going to move to page 6. Now on page 6, you'll see course recommendations. Now this page is, if you notice at the top it says grade 9, in the middle it says grade 10, and at the bottom it will say grade 11. So this is a page that's designed for all of our students, whether they're first entering McCoy or they've been here for a year or two. And you can see that we have the recommended marks in the middle of each one of the tables that you would need to register into the courses that you want in your next year. So for grade 9, you'll see that Language Arts 9, we require or recommend a 65% or higher to choose or select your English 10-1. Less than 60%, we would recommend English 10-2, and then less than 50% English 10-4. Social Studies works very similar to that. For Social 9, it's 65% or higher, it'd be Social 10-1. Less than 65%, it would be Social Studies 10-2, and less than 50 would be Social Studies 10-4. Now, math and science don't have a -1 or -2 stream in grade 10. They have a generalized science, which is math, which is math 10C, math 10 combined. And if you have 55% or higher in your math 9, we would recommend math 10C. Less than 55%, but above 50, we would recommend 10-3 math. And then less than 50%, we would recommend math 10-4. We also have another course that we do offer. It's Math 15. It's a Math Foundations course for those students that are looking for a little bit extra preparation before they take their Math 10C. So maybe you maybe passed your Math 9 or just were a little close to 50%, let's say, but you think you could use a little bit of extra practice. Maybe Math 15 Foundations might be the right selection for you. And it's on our course selection page, which Mr. Bosch will be talking about in a second. As far as science goes, 55% or higher, we recommend Science 10. Less than 55% we recommend Science 14, and less than 50% we recommend Science 10-4. Now for the grade 10s and grade 11s, for the most part, they're familiar with high school and kind of have the recommended marks probably already understood, but they are found on this page, and I encourage you to definitely look at these recommended marks in the middles of each of those tables prior to selecting your courses for grade 11 if you're in grade 10, or for grade 12 if you are in grade 11. I'll pass this back off to Mr. Boshi. He'll talk a little bit of the program.
Okay, so I'll ask you now to please go to page 7, the next page in the registration guide. And there you'll notice all of our course offerings. So again, depending on which grade you're looking to register for, you'll see at the top of the page a column for grade 10, a column for grade 11, and a column for grade 12. And those are primarily our core courses or our required courses for students to look at. So again, when you start at the page, and based on the information that Mr. Brzezinski has given, you'll see a variety of course offerings with numbers after them, and I'll explain what that means. So to start with the top one, you'll see English Language Arts 10-1 AP. It has a 5 after it. You'll notice after all the courses on this page, there's a number in parentheses at the end, and that represents the number of credits that the courses are worth once they're successfully completed. The first one presents new information, which I'll speak about. So English Language Arts 10-1, Advanced Placement, is a course. You'll see advanced placement offerings in grade 10, 11, and 12 in both English and in math. And so you will notice for students that are coming into McCoy, especially coming from grade 9 into grade 10, they might want to consider, if they're experiencing in Language Arts 9 or in Math 9, they see the course as a course that they greatly enjoy, they're passionate about doing it, and they're quite successful in it, that they might want to go into the AP course in grade 10. The AP program allows students to begin the journey towards the exam that they would write in May of their grade 12 year. And when they write that exam, one of the outcomes could be for the student to be successful on the test and be able to earn dual credits for programming in a post-secondary institution after high school. So that in itself can be quite the benefit, both in time and in money for students. But to me, the most immediate one that I talk about for kids that might see LA 9 and Math 9 as a great place to be and a nice landing spot for them in an AP class in grade 10 is that the class will offer them a cohort of students who are all like-minded. They love English or they love math, and they're successful with it. The level of critical thinking and conversation in the classrooms is very strong, and typically those students not only love the experience but also perform at a very high level. If they decide that after grade 10 they no longer want to stay in the AP class and want to return to regular streaming, they would go into English 20-1 or the Math 20-1 program. So it's not a 3-year commitment, but it's a great place to start high school to see if that's a good landing spot for students, again, who are successful and love those program opportunities. Again, as you go down the column in grade 10, I'll start again with that. You'll notice other streams of English, and there's French immersion programming and language arts and social studies. Again, more social studies, different streams, offerings, math that Mr. Brzezinski spoke about, science, and then down to the 2 different opportunities for Phys Ed. There is a 3-credit, boys only and girls only. And for those students that love to be active on a daily basis for 1 semester, they might choose the Phys Ed 10 Fitness and Performance class. It is 5 credits. Those students will learn how to train and train safely in the fitness area of our school, and they'll also spend a lot of time in the gym doing Phys Ed activities. So they'll get the required 3 credits of Phys Ed, but also 2 additional modules in fitness for those kids, again, who like to be active on a daily basis. Beyond that, you'll see other required courses. In the rectangle below the grade 10 column, you'll notice Fine Arts and Fine Arts Academy courses. We will be offering 7 different disciplines of fine arts, including dance, starting in the 21-22 school year for students. But you'll also notice as many as 9 opportunities to join. One specifically, which might be an opportunity for students who have not been involved in band by the end of grade 9, that if they want to join our larger band program at McCoy, there is a pathway to get there. At the bottom of the first column, you'll see Introductory Band 10, And that class, if students decide to enter it, will be a class for all students who have not been involved in band or very little band to this point, and they want to learn how to read music and play an instrument. If they take that class, they can then join the instrumental music class, instrumental music 10, 20, or 30, depending on the grade level, and they can join our larger band, which is a great experience for all of our kids. It's also a chance to compete in the community and also travel in the province, country, and every 3 years beyond that. So that can be a really positive experience for our kids too. And again, kids that are fine arts minded might want to explore some of those areas. Below that, you'll see second languages. So again, there's French 10, 20, and 30 for kids that have no French background or very little. They can have an awesome experience on a 5-credit course at our school. And beneath that, you'll see strictly CTS offerings, career and technology and career pathway programming. So you'll notice construction technology at 3 levels, 1, 2, and 3. And that is wood construction. So the students in that class will learn all about the safe protocols of using hand and power tools in wood construction. And then they'll get to spend a lot of their time actually working on wood in both, like I said, power tools and hand tools. And sometimes they'll even get to the point where they're creating furniture in that class. You'll also notice mechanics and fabrication at 3 levels. And that is for students who want to work both in automotives and also in welding and fusing metal together. They do torch, stick, and MIG welding, and they also work on automotives from engines to suspension systems, exhaust systems, balancing tires, and a lot of really fun stuff for kids. That can also be a pathway consideration for lots of kids that might want to go into RAP programming and eventually become a career in those areas. On the other column, you'll see cosmetology, which runs at a variety of levels, and kids can be involved in cosmetology in more than one semester in high school, and that is hair care, skin care, and nail care. And then there's a foods course at 3 levels, a chance to work with our foods teacher and our chef at the school in the culinary arts, where, again, kids can have a chance to make food and begin to understand a lot about how ingredients can make a big difference in the food that we prepare. Back to the top of the screen for a second, I do want to also note that, again, for students that are in grade 10 or grade 11, all the same core information is represented at the top of that page, from English all the way down through, for, again, at -1, -2, and beyond, for them to consider based on the information from page 6 that was discussed earlier. So that's a very important page for kids to take a look at and for parents to have a conversation with their children about. And ultimately, of course, if you have any questions about any of the information that we presented in this video, if you want more information, you can contact the school. And also, please note that if you ever want to have a tour of the school to discuss all of these programs, but also see a lot of the spaces where these classes are taught, we greatly encourage that as well. All you have to do is contact the school, and we can set up a time to tour. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.